Hey guys, welcome back or to the channel. This is Into the Garage and I am your host, Mr. Do-All. So I haven't done a lot of videos lately because I've been helping a friend and just been kind of getting things done in his place. I mentioned to him that I was looking at a scroll saw because I want to get into like some finish, really cool woodworking. The model is the XL-16, so it's a 16-inch scroll saw. And it's pretty nifty. Let's go. With this, the arm lifts up for, I believe, for blade changes. You have the noodle for the air below the way the what do you call it, the sawdust, and the entire bed tilts, which is a huge feature. Which means it's the arm that moves. A lot of high-end scroll saws do that. The ones that don't are usually the lower-end models. This is key. It's huge, crazy. I believe right there, this little thing, that giant thing I should say, is where it's for the vacuum, I assume. You got a foot pedal, and then you have a stand for this thing. So the tilting mechanism is 30 to 45 degrees, 5-inch blades, 2-inch max cap. Usually they're about 1.5 inches for the smaller stuff, 16-inch throat or coil, which I think is this entire bed there. We got 1.3 amps, which is pretty powerful for your single phase 120 volt. So it's pretty awesome. Like this is amazing. The other part of this is you have your RPM for the cutting blade and on-off switch right at the top. So this thing is like the cat's meow. Now I already started unboxing it. I got about this far, and then I'm like, you know what? Let's do a video. So let's do a video.
This scroll saw, as I presume all the other ones are just the same, there's not much to unpack.
So I thought it would come with a, what do you call it? I guess they're optional. What's it say here? Support and option. Okay, because I was looking at that part. So these are the optional stuff. I'm gonna have to build something. I can do that for cheap, and that I'll just grab from Amazon.
This is my foot pedal switch.
But this thing, because we need a foot pedal, that's for sure. This thing's really cool. I like how when you're working on a piece, you put your vacuum up to this. It's got all these little holes here to get rid of the sawdust. Obviously it has the air push to blow the sawdust away. Nice tiny one. That's the appropriate tone. To change that, you just undo it here. So undoes that. You loosen it off this thumb screw, and then that leaves that free. And then at this point, you can lift the arm up, if I'm not mistaken. So I gotta loosen this up, I presume. There you go. And you can lift the whole arm up for the quick blade change. It doesn't have a light, but I have a telescoping light. I actually might make this stand out of this piece of wood, and then just do that so that I can move that around the shop for now until I make an official one. And these are pinless blades, so that's cool. So it's more convenient. They're like the pin blades have the horizontal piece going across the top, so that's awesome. It's again fastened down here, so another thumb screw, so that's cool. And then to get this, you just loosen off this piece, and then it changes the angle. So if you see here, the saw itself is turning while the blade stays still. So, which is pretty awesome. So I'll move around this way. So if you want to change the blade angle, it's just as easy as that. When you get it to your right angle, you just tighten it up. Lefty loosey, righty tighty, boom. So we'll bring it back. And the marker for this should be right at the bottom there. So right there. Then to bring, after you've changed your blade, you just bring this back down to here. And you tighten this up just in reverse. And then you tighten that for the tension. So the blade is changed, very easy. You get that tone, and it's ready to be cut. So we're gonna kind of cut a piece right now. Not sure what it's gonna be yet. I'll draw something and we'll cut it. So remember, you can't lift it from the front or the arm. You want to lift it from either the motor and or the plate. So just like that.
Whoopsie!
So your little heart. So your little heart. I'm gonna cut that out now.
This is legitimately my first time using a scroll saw that I can remember anyways. And went pretty well. I got the blade all jammed up, so I had to remove it and put it all back and then finish the cut.
Okay, so that was my first cut. I had this go a little bit here on purpose, and it's not bad. My very first scroll saw cut out.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow.
You're only saying that because you're my mom.
No, I'm not saying because your mom. I love it. It's just really nice, especially here. You know, when the point comes down, it looks like you're going to say something, right? So that's how pretty it is. That's very done.
Thank you, Mom.
I like it. I like it because it's not just a regular heart. Actually, you could take it like this, and it could be a dog.
Oh, jeez. Okay. All right.
But I like it because it's a heart. Put a little lip here and a little ear there.
Awesome.
It's funny.
So, big thanks to a friend of mine who's supporting me in my journey to learn how to do scroll saw work. Really appreciate it, buddy. Now it's time to finish off the basement.
So this scroll saw has a lot of professional features, but I want to add to that and kind of pimp out my new tool.
Top 10 list for scroll saw accessories. The bottom list, number 10, is your stand. Here you have one that was this is a pre-made, and this one would be one that's custom. That's pretty nifty. It also has onboard storage, which is yet another thing on the list, and then put wheels on it, which is what I'm planning on doing. This is pretty structurally strong. This will help with the vibrations, and all in all, it helps you move it around the shop. Very good thing. Number 9 on the list would be dental picks, and or you could have tools that will help with cleaning the wood. I have a little set here that I haven't used in ages. You'll know right away because it's got lots of rust and whatnot up top here. Not so good. But having one of these little X-Acto blades to cut small parts out like this. So any of the burrs and stuff that are in the wood and everything like that, and you have some of the what do you call it? This has actually got a magnetic strip in it to hold them in place. And this also helps just by scraping out anything that's in the wood or files or anything like that. Even a little tiny saw and stuff, a little sharpening tool, stuff like that. There's a little planer too. I didn't see that before. All these kind of tools help when you're working out with wood. Little scrapers and things for anything on your burrs and stuff like that. And then dental picks are also another good one. So that you need to pick anything out or kind of change part of the wood or move it around a little bit and take out any of the burrs again, or if there's a piece stuck inside it, it's easy just to use these dental tools to kind of pop it out and you're good to go. On to number 8. Sanding blades or sanding strips for your scroll saw. Pretty handy. You put these inside the pieces. It's a little bit easier than rolling up some sandpaper or putting it on. This is just a lot nicer finish for the harder to reach places. You can't take your piece and put up against a belt sander and expect to get the inners. So this is where that comes in handy. Kind of makes it nice, smooth. It's awesome. So having storage on your saw is awesome. I just grabbed this little container to kind of show you guys. So this is some of the parts for my saw. And then on this side, you have the blade. It's the blades that came with it. So there's a couple little testing blades. And on the bottom, the instruction manual. That's really good. Having blade storage, So like having a container to put them in, for example, so if it's some jars or some cups or whatever, you can put them in there, or just some Tupperware containers that'll hold all the blades in place. I'm gonna get something like that. I said this earlier, if you build your stand, you can incorporate some pull-out containers or pull-out drawers, and that would probably be your storage. That's what that's gonna be. What else do we have here for storage? That's definitely not a Sawzall, or yeah, that's something totally different. So here's another custom made. It's done out of 2x4s. I was thinking about doing the same thing myself. And if you do this, you have all that dead space inside it. Why not put some drawers in there? Heck, you can easily put some Tupperware containers in there, and then you'll be able to pull them out as you needed to. Or if it's just a blank piece at the bottom, just so you can throw some stuff into a box, at least you have some sort of storage. Number 6 would be having a machinist square. A 2-inch would be more than enough. Anything smaller, or anything bigger than that would be too much. An easy way to do that is to kind of measure the 90-degree angle for the blade. That could be actually tightened up a little bit. And if I do this, a little bit less. Right there, that's good. Anyways, having a right angle to test the blade to make sure that it's you're going to cut the wood properly. That would be key to have on hand, so that'd be paired with the saw at all times. Another good idea with that is to get a piece of wood and just cut a line and cut another line and make sure she is at 90 degrees. Or you can have a piece of wood that is already pre-cut, so that when you're making sure that you have a 90-degree angle from the platter to the blade, it just fits in nice and snug. Number 5 is your magnetic strips. The best example I could give you is all the knives in a row. Basically what my theory is, and I don't have them here obviously, but I want to put a magnetic strips along the bar of the the scroll saw itself. So when I'm changing out the blades, I don't have to go and reach into the storage container every single time looking for them where they are. The blades that I'm using for the particular project will be up here. And another good thing about that is if you're using blades, instead of throwing with the new ones, like the old used blade with the new blades, you put it up here and you know exactly where it is, and that way you're not going to mix them up. So number 4, storage, and that's important. You have our Tupperware container right over here. Another one, this is just for temporary until I actually build my stand. You're doing a scroll saw stand. If you look here, we have somebody who built one themselves. It's got wheels, pull-out drawers. It's got wheels, pull-out drawers, and that in itself is pretty daggone awesome. It'll help with the vibrations from the saw too, to keep it structurally sound. What I was thinking of building is something like this, just so it has something temporary. And I put the scroll saw on top of that. That's actually the wrong photo. Kind of funny actually. Here's another one. You have your typical stand right there, and it's in an A-shaped form, and that in itself will be an awesome one. Now the particular model of stand that I was thinking of doing, if I can just get over to it, would be this guy here. Now this one you can easily just put a blank piece of plywood there, and you have storage, just put a box or something. You can use that container itself at the bottom there, you'll be able to pull it out. So this is very structurally sound, very strong. You don't have to worry about it falling over unless you knock it really, really hard. Anyways, going on to number 3. Number 3 would be having your vacuum hooked up to the scroll saw itself. And this scroll saw is pretty awesome. It's the first one I've seen with the holes around where the blade is. And when you hook up the vacuum to underneath here, it will actually have a vacuum suction on these, and then all your debris and dust gets sucked out through to the vacuum, and you're good to go. Obviously you have your nozzle blower and whatnot. Just take a quick little look at this. If you come down here, you'll see that little plastic sheet there. That goes to the blower vacuum, plugs right in. And number 2 on our list, coincidentally enough, it's a two-parter. You have your LED light, which I could plug in to demonstrate that. So you have your LED light. Ours will be mounted to right about here, so you'll be able to get to you'll be able to see your light. And I don't care how bright your area of working is. When you're in front of the light, you're going to cast a shadow. So this will be kind of off to the side, just like that. And if you have a really small piece, you can actually look through the magnifier. And therefore, you'll be able to take a look closer to the woodwork that you're performing. And sometimes, even if you have good eyesight, having a magnifier just makes everything just that little bit easier. And my number 1 pick overall is the foot pedal. You can actually set this up to work and coincide with your vacuum, so that when you're working, the vacuum immediately turns on, and when you stop working, the vacuum immediately turns off. And it's pretty simple. And you'll see your foot pedals here. Basically, you have your power coming in for the foot pedal, so that this will become a switch, a momentary switch. So as long as you're pressing down on it, and they also call it a deadband switch, it sends power out to your scroll saw and or to your vacuum. Mine's going to be a custom job where I'll have 2 outlets, and that way I can control both at the same time. So that was a fun little video. Got to play with the scroll saw. Got to go through my top 10 list of what I'm going to modify and build for this beast. And as a newbie venturing into this art form, and it is an art form, I'm excited. This is going to be amazing. And the things that I'm going to create are going to be pretty cool too. Like everything from, well, man cave signs, garage signs, to custom street signs, to names, to, and I even saw today where you can do 3D signs and or keychains and stuff, where you have one word one way and you flip it around and cut it again and you have the other word that way. And I'm assuming, well, as long as you have the same amount of letters in the word, you'll be able to do that and go back and forth. A lot of work with that, a lot of cool things to do, and lots to learn. So I'm really excited about this. Still very thankful for my friend who have gotten me this tool. So if you're watching, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. I was in tears on the way home, like tears of joy, just because like nobody ever buys me tools, and well, as a tool, I love tools. So that all being said, I'm gonna leave it off here. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you all in the next one. I gotta go clean up the mess I made. Y'all have fun, be safe. If you're doing anything questionable, name it after me. If you like this video, I'm just all words right now, all just exasperated. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!